Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gonzo Ewok channel with me, Ewok,
and me, Gonzo,
for our first video of 2016. Let's play Prison Architect, a much requested one by our user.
Yeah, I think we were flooded with requests. We must have had at least two.
At least two. I'd say a minimum
Architect.
of two. I couldn't possibly say what the maximum was, but there was a minimum of two.
At least two. Probably less than four.
So you're playing this one, Gonzo?
Yes, I am. Prison Architect.
Campaign or sandbox or...
We're going to create a new prison. We're going to start from scratch. I've started playing the campaign mode just after the game hit 1.0.
I think it's actually pronounced Campagan.
Campagan. Well, we're doing create new prison.
We're doing a new prison. That's good. I thought the sandbox mode might be good.
One new feature. It's been a while since I've played this. I should just kind of give like a little bit of a rundown. I got into Prison Architect very early. I think just after it hit onto Steam, but I'd been following it before it came out. And then as each update was coming out through early access, I'd usually jump in, play it for a couple hours and try out the prisons. The game hit 1.0, I think it was October time.
Yeah, not a little while ago, but not too long ago.
I played the first maybe 3 parts of the campaign, but to be honest, the Campagan, sorry, and I ended up being completely burnt out. So didn't really go back to it. Always kind of intended to, but never did. It's a great little game, but it suffered from early access syndrome. Played too much of it in development. Well, but I'm really excited to actually get stuck in here. One thing you'll notice instantly is we've got different prison agendas. This has just been brought in back into December.
Oh, so you can have boy prisons or girl prisons.
Apparently, lady prisoners can sometimes be pregnant, and you've got to build things like nurseries. They might have babies with them, so they've got to have childcare. And apparently, they'll play slightly different to men in terms of their needs and how they'll behave as well. We're just going to take the regular warden. We're going to take male prisoners. Since we haven't played it before on the channel, we'll keep things nice and straightforward. We are going to have gangs. I'm going to put events on, even though it might end up fucking with fairly early on, but I think that's part of the fun. I'm not going to worry about buildings or lakes. We'll keep forests in, though, because I like to get a little bit of industry.
What do the prison buildings do? Is that like derelict buildings?
Yeah, it puts like ruins on the thing that limits where you can actually build stuff. So
and you're having the default warden there as well.
Yeah, you've got different wardens that you can choose, which change some of the game mechanics, as you can see. Some make it a bit easier, some make it a bit harder.
Ooh, you can have like a military prison with the general there.
Yeah, no, instantly, this is one thing that I should point out, and we were talking to our good mate when we were out over the new year. He was one of the people...
Give it a name, let's not sit on this screen forever.
He was one of the ones that wanted us to play Prison Architect. And the main reason he wanted to play it was he thought we would have quite a different approach to how we would go about managing a prison. The way that he saw it was that I'm quite a nice person. I'd be all up for reform. I'd be up for treating these people as though they really need some help. And he thought that you would want to make a concentration camp.
That's not true.
Well,
I played Prison Architect back in early access, and I tried to be as nice to my prisoners as possible. Saying that, they did burn my prison down. So on another run, I might be tempted to be a little more harsh about security. Right. And maybe give them the occasional beating just to make sure they know who's in charge. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to close off the prison. I'm going to pause it up, and this episode will probably be like a very kind of buildy episode, I imagine, just while we start getting basic stuff set up. So, I know a lot of people use the planning tool to plan out what they want to do. I'm not really into that, if I'm honest. I've usually got a very simple way that I tend to sort of start plotting out my prisons. What does the planning tool do? Does it like... It lets you put blueprinty bit.
Yeah, you can put like a ghost on the map of what you want to build to plot out how big things need to be, which I suppose could be very handy, but I'm not one for you.
But you're more cack-handed than that.
Yeah, like I don't have like a standard sort of form that I tend to follow when I'm making prisons, but I have got some ideas of what it is that I would like to do. So first thing that I'm thinking is we need a sort of like an entrance piece here. Scroll down, gives us a 4, and that will give us a corridor.
So what's this for? Is this your entrance?
Actually, yes. What I'm doing is this bit here is going to be kind of like an entrance hall. I'm going to build a little sort of reception area, and I'm going to build a tiny little holding cell just to get going. I will take some grants in a couple of moments. Tell you what, we'll just clear them out of the way. But up here, what I want to do is I want to put in some space for offices. I don't like to have my offices in the prison because I don't want people mixing in with me, you know, me warden and all the rest of it.
Okay.
So let's just plan this out. I know I've got the planning tool, but that's not the way that I do things. So I'm counting up on the screen here. We need a 4x4 office. and that would be a wall, and that would be 4x4 office and a wall.
Now people can't see your finger.
4x4 office and a wall.
He's gradually going up with his finger against the screen.
It's about
Counting the
about
space.
there.
It's about there.
It's about there.
You can always expand it if you need to.
Yeah. Next thing that I want to do is instantly take care of some security as well. So we'll get fences. Be a fence there.
Well, that's very important that there's a fence there.
It certainly is.
Critical, I would say.
We will also need some. It's been so long since I played. I'm totally rusty. Need one of those.
Doors, very
Need one
helpful.
of those as well. We'll also need a room for some electricity stuff. Utilities, that's the word.
Do you not need a storage room for deliveries? Is that not required?
Not really, it's not required.
Honestly, it's been so long since I played this, I've got no idea.
It's not really required as such. Basically what you've got is stuff will pile up in this deliveries bit here, and if you build a storage room, stuff will be carted inside. So, yeah, it's not essential. We'll worry about that a bit later on.
Yeah, this is all about the essentials at this stage, isn't it?
Aye. So, one thing that does annoy us is that when these rooms are built, they'll be auto-populated with lights, and they'll not put the lights where I want the lights put, because I'm going to build subdivisions in these rooms. I'll be curious to see if they've actually fixed that. I'm not sure if it would even count as a bug. It's probably meant to try and help you, but I wish there was a way where you could say, workmen, don't put the fucking lights in, because I've got a plan here, and you're going to bollocks it up. You're going to put lights where I want walls. In terms of... on there as well. I try and keep things vaguely symmetrical, but I'm not that precious about it, to be honest. It just makes me OCD twitch a little bit. On there. We can also get some... what do you call them? Oh, what was
So
it?
what do you call them?
Gate. That's it.
Gates.
We'll put a gate. Put it in there. And we'll have one up there.
And you'll need a bit of fence there as well.
Certainly will. Put one in there.
Are you going to put the fence all the way around? Yes, you are.
There we are. So, at least if prisoners do show up, if I was to unlock it now, they would just be milling around on a road in between two gates. But
Waiting for the next busload of supplies to come.
Right.
So they can dash out.
Instantly, we've got to pause it because look, they're busy with the lights already. I don't want lights there. I know where the lights are supposed to go.
Oh, so you can take them out.
Oh yeah, you just right click on them. But if you don't do it quick enough,
What's that next to the little 10-metre sign thing?
that's a lamp.
Why is there a lamp out there?
It's just because it's a road. It's a road.
Oh,
For the
okay.
lamps.
Okay. It's a road light.
Right. So, that's looking alright. Now, please say that I haven't screwed up. I'm sure officers need to be 4x4. That would be 4x4. That would be 4x4.
Why is it going already and ooh?
It's been a long time since you've played this, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's doing that because it's telling us that this doesn't count as an office because you need requirements. So stuff
you
needs
need
to
a
be in
desk,
there.
chair, filing cabinet, and it needs to be indoors.
So that's the same with all of these things. If they need anything, they'll glow right.
I disagree that it's not indoors.
Hang on a second. Now, I have bollocks here because this was going to be a corridor.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to have to make it more kind of like an open plan office now because there isn't space to put a wall and doors in.
Yes, there's not.
So I've been playing 2 minutes and we're already kind of balls and things up, but they should still count as offices. And everyone's got their own little cubicle. You see, you know what? Since that's the room at the top. All right, I've got.
Is that going to be the warden's office?
Exactly.
He gets a
He's gonna
closed
be-
office, and
he's
all
gonna
these
be
staff
there.
gets open offices.
There we are. Yeah, I should apologise. Playing and recording this to make it entertaining is going to be a problem because I usually play Prison Architect paused more than I actually play the video running.
As long as we can see what you're doing, just keep talking us through.
So yeah, we'll be off to a slow start. As I said, probably first video, maybe even the second one, are going to be very slow buildy ones, but then it will get better when eventually the day comes when people turn up.
Well, it's qualified as indoors now, so you can't just expand the building easily. You couldn't just like add another layer. If you wanted to put that.
Well, I
corridor
could.
in.
I could build more foundations, yeah, but again, that can be a little bit funny because sometimes it'll demolish the walls, and sometimes it won't. It'll just bolt something on, and then I've got to
Well, that
destroy
was-
the walls myself.
In the older build, maybe it doesn't do that anymore. You would think
I'm
that that's
pretty
a bug.
sure it did just after release. There has been 2 updates since then, but It's not ideal, which is fine when you're building like this. It's just an inconvenience. If you do that and half your prison wing disappears while it's full of prisoners, they will make a run for it and they will try and get out. So that becomes like a bit annoying. In any event, what we'll end up doing, we'll build up a little office sort of complex here. We can expand that later on if we need to. Need to get our utilities online.
Your gate
Pause
is
it
open.
again. Of course it is. Because there's no prisoners. Everything stays open until prisoners show up, at which point the gates all
So
shut.
the gate at the bottom is closed. Oh no, it's not built yet.
Yeah.
I see.
But
You're lucky that gate's that size, otherwise it would block the doorway.
that doesn't actually count as something that would stop anything happening.
But it would annoy the hell out of me.
Yeah. Well, it annoys us already because technically that's a wall, and I know it's like sliding in front of it, but it's still, yeah, I'm not particularly happy with that. Okay then, we've got our first room built up here. We're going to need lights in there. We'll worry about putting the furniture in once we've actually got the facilities down. And
So you want to get your holding pen and your pen and reception desk up. Yeah?
I believe
Right.
so.
You see, I know all about running prisons, me.
We're going to take the first grand to get ourselves some cash, because we're blown through it a lot already. So we need a holding cell, we need a shower, we need a yard, we need a kitchen, canteen, 2 guards and 2 cooks.
And you get 30 grand.
Yeah, we'll give us 30 grand.
How does it work?
They give us 20 in advance, we'll get 10 once we've built everything.
Right. So, really, you want to try and spend 20 to do it.
No, like that. If I don't spend all that cash, I'm going to keep a hold of it. It's a grant.
But you don't want to spend any more than 30, certainly. Otherwise, you make no money. But the way I've seen it, if you spend 20 grand on the facilities, you get 10 grand as a bonus.
It's one way of thinking about it. The other way is where I'll make money is through my prisons.
No.
My prisoners.
No.
I make money off.
Do everything on the cheap.
That's
That's what you want to do.
See what I mean? See, if you leave these little bastards for 10 seconds, he's built a light right in the middle of the doorway. Right. Now I've got to destroy my door to get rid of the light. Why have they done this? They're doing more.
But they're building more lights, yeah. Stop them.
They're bloody light happy, these people.
It's like the guys who built our house. I can imagine those cowboys doing this.
You should.
I put light in doorway.
You should explain we don't share a house, but we do have mirror copies of the same house.
We do. We live in the same street.
Yeah.
No, not our house that we share together in the biblical sense.
Yeah, people kind of share rumours quite a bit about it. Without you saying that basically we live together as well.
Oh, he's put it in a box, but you don't have a storage area. Are they just going to leave that box there forever?
Probably, the way that they behave, they can be fairly annoying.
So the fact that it's in a box, that means you're not going to have to pay for the door again, because the door's in storage. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. That'll be kept in storage at some point.
Are you using a brick wall to hold your prisoners in the detention centre?
Well, why wouldn't I?
What's
I've
wrong
always
with
used
bars? They can chip away at brick.
Mate, there's no bars in the game.
It's a prison game.
You can put windows in that are in the shape of bars, but you've got brick and you've got concrete.
Yeah, brick and concrete. Oh, there should be concrete. What's the perimeter wall?
Look, this is my prison. I'm trying to build a prison here, and all your questions are throwing us off my game. I haven't even started.
I'm here to ask questions. I am the voice of the audience.
The audience know how to play the game. You're the only one that doesn't.
I played this game many moons ago.
Exactly, it's changed. There's been about 30 builds since then, and a final release.
I bet I still would have killed all my prisoners.
You say that like that's a good thing. Again, this is what I was saying. You want a concentration camp. I want a reform centre.
It's a lot cheaper to run a prison once you've killed all the prisoners. You don't have to spend money on food, water,
but you've got to pay
living facilities,
taxes on your land, and you're not making any money because you make money by taking in prisoners. Right, what do we need? We need a holding cell, we need a shower. There's also actually, I think, a reception room where they're taken first. You know how prisoners will generally kind of mill around in this area when they first turn up off the truck? Mm-hmm. If we can build a reception, it needs office desk, table and chair. It's quite a big one. But when they first turn up, that's where they're going to go.
How big does it need to be?
It doesn't matter. That can be a small room. But no, it's just the way I'm building things. Stop questioning my design decisions. This is my fucking prison.
Where are you going to put the shower?
When people start dying, I'm going to build more rooms. Shut up. Shut up.
I like this already. This is great.
Oh, you just wait until we start recording Kerbal again. Once 1.1 hits on Kerbal and we start recording it again, I'm going to be a right pain in the arse, even more than normal.
I'm still very worried about your lack of storage facilities. What if it rains?
If it rains, shit gets wet. Should be a door there.
Could you build like a holding cell in like with a donut shape and put the reception area in the centre of it? With no walls separating the receptionists from the prisoners. That could be fun.
First things first. Power station. We need a power station. Put a power station down. We need a water station. Put a water station down. I can get drains, I think. Should be drains.
Yeah, I saw drains.
So it's quite a good tip.
Separate your water from your power. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, sometimes you know how I had events. Events are things like generator explodes, you get a flood, one of the pipes breaks in your prison, and creates a little.
Even better tip would be to just not put your water station and your power station next to each other. I think.
Yeah, and that would be a good idea, but I always build them like this. So this is the way it's being built.
It's like having your I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
It's like having your...
I was going to say having your room full of dry towels next to your fire room, but then I realised that the fire room isn't the thing.
Maybe in your house you've got a fire room.
You don't have a room dedicated to storing flames.
No, I remember once when I was playing Minecraft I had a fire room, but that started out as an accident. And then I just grew accustomed to it. So, get some cabling. Should be alright just. We'll run it up and around. I'm not sure if we need to do that or not, but
I don't think you do you? It just needs to go over the top of it.
Yeah, I think it just needs to go there, but for completeness sake. What we'll also do, we'll run... I'm going to do them like that. There. Have them go. Like that as well.
Yay.
It's always a very slow process to get all your utilities done, and sometimes they can glitch out. Somebody will walk into a wall and get stuck, and I think they did do a lot of bug fixing on that just before release, but I'm pretty sure I've still had it happen once or twice.
And the downfall of
start putting fences up and shit.
The downfall of my prison is that I put all this into place and then I realised I had to do exactly the same thing for the sprinkler system. So I just never bothered installing a sprinkler system.
I've never had a sprinkler system yet. I have no intention of having a sprinkler system. If anything...
Well, I want to warn you that my entire prison burned down and everyone died.
This is my logic,
prisoner.
If we've got sprinklers in rooms, people are going to think it's acceptable to burn shit. If you're trapped in your little cell and you set fire to your bed sheets, you're fucked. That's your problem. You did that.
It was a tragedy, really, because all the prisoners were dying in the fire, and then all the guards were running in to try and save the prisoners, and all the guards were dying in the fire, and everybody died, apart from one prisoner who walked through the big hole in the wall and escaped. I like to think he was the one that started the fire.
What else do we need? We need pipes. Pipes.
Pipes for the water.
Yeah.
Because you need showers and toilets, don't you?
Yeah. How are we going to do this then? They'll run out there. There's going to be one that runs through the main corridor as well.
Why?
Because that's going to feed into the rest of my prison. The rest of my prison is going to be like over in this direction. So we'll have a main one running through the corridor, but I'm not going to let that run through people's cell blocks. Because it's a big pipe. Big pipes.
Oh, can they climb in and like escape through it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever. And then there's little pipes. Oh.
But the little pipes, the water pressure starts dropping, so I couldn't just have little pipes everywhere. I need to feed the big pipes in and then the little pipes off them.
That's very good.
The big pipes.
I love that you put in like a modesty wall. I wouldn't have bothered doing that. I would have just. This is a holding cell. This isn't luxury.
Now look,
accommodation.
I don't trust these prisoners as far as they can be thrown. This much is true. However, I am going to try and reform them. I'm going to do my level best to reform them. Lights there.
Bizarre place to put lights.
Well, this is kind of like I'm imagining like office cubicles, you see, without them having windows and doors and whatnot.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the lights in those bits. Those are brick walls. It's going to be very dim.
Yeah, the game doesn't take into account the aesthetics of lighting, so I'm not particularly worried about it.
But you've got to, treat it with a little bit of
I'm
pride.
making a good-looking prison. I think you'll find.
I don't know. The inspector would come over. He'd say, "This is a lovely prison, Mr. Gonzo. It's very. I like what you've done with the place, but there's a real problem with the lighting situation." You're going to say, first of all, you don't want to put your lights in between the cubicles like that. You guys aren't getting enough light. They're going to strain their eyes, and you're going to have a lawsuit in your hands, mister. And then he'd be like, and you know what? You really need a light right next to the door and the entrance to the holding cells so that it obscures the door. Said, I don't know why you didn't do that. It's in prison code.
And you also want to put one right in your...
that's what I'm talking about. Right at the front door. You want one right there.
Well, they're not getting one of them. As we can see, things are nicely lit up here. We need a desk, a table, and a chair in here. So we'll get a table. So this is where everybody's like fed into the prison, and basically they put everything down.
This is where you come in, and they're like, right, who are you? What are you here for?
Yeah, I like to think this is where you're stripped bollock naked, and you're meant to stand in front of them.
You're gonna need a rubber glove dispenser in there.
Yeah, took a Swarfiga.
So you get a toilet too. You're not going to put a bench in for your prisoners to sit around?
Do you think I should put a little shower in there as well? Just because I don't know exactly how well run my prison's going to be when I get
if you put a shower... So you're making them shower there, and you're giving them the privacy screen for the toilet, but then you're just making them shower in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Not a pool table.
Not a pool table. Welcome to prison.
I wonder how big it... Could that actually be the cheapest shower ever? How big? Just needs a shower head. It's a shower. It's a shower now.
But only 2 people can shower at a time. How many people can fit in a holding cell?
Quite a few.
Until they start dying.
There we are. Let's see. Now I'm starting to get into kind of the micromanagement of stuff, but you know what? That ain't too bad. That won't count as a holding cell anymore. Is that right?
It still says holding cell. Oh, but yes, I think you've blocked it off.
Let's have a look.
So I think now you've technically got 2 holding cells.
It's not what I wanted to do. If I undesignate
You see,
that.
now you've not got it again.
Oh, that's okay. Then. Well, what we'll do,
Why don't you put a separate door in at like the left-hand side? So there's a door going to the toilets.
Fixed. It's fixed.
What have you done?
I'm deleting 2 bits of wall in between.
Well, that's really messy. You could have made that shower room a separate little room.
It's fine the way it is. I could do whatever, but I'm doing it the way I want to do it because I've got the buttons. That's how it's going to be.
So you've built the privacy screens, but now you've just got 2
but
big
look,
holes.
you're not staring directly at somebody in a toilet, are you? Like,
and then the smell is going to like ooze out. This is just disgusting.
Hopefully they're not in there for too long.
It's revolting what you've done.
That's lovely, and you'll find that's the cheapest shower that you'll ever see. And look, counts as a shower. Tick the box.
It does count, but you've
needs to be indoors. Needs a toilet. It's got them. Needs a bench. It's got to be 5x5. Is it 5x5?
It's not.
It's not 5x5.
It's 5 wide, but it's not 5 tall.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, because you've got a wall in the way that's stopping it from being 5, haven't you?
That should count. Right, okay then.
Hold a 5x5 section. You see? You've got a wall in the way.
Right, okay then, you know what? These walls, burning me bloody life.
That'll be fine.
Yes.
Because then they'll be 5 tall and 5 wide.
But now you sit on the toilet for everyone to see.
But you can't see the guy who's beside you on the other toilet. The worst privacy screen ever.
Well, that's no longer a screen, is it?
You could move the toilets so they're along that back wall and then box them in.
No, this will be enough. Now, why is it still saying it's not 5x5? Is it that big?
Because you haven't filled in the gaps, mate. There you go.
Ah, that's nice.
Enclosed. The toilets don't have to be enclosed.
Enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. Well, it is.
I love the fact that when you're having a shower, you have perfect privacy, but when you are having a shit, if those toilets overflow, there's a danger now that it could flood your entire home.
Now, hang on a second. It's saying enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. Does it mean these bits? I
think it might be. You may have to put some doors in there. Move the drain.
I see what you're saying.
And then put doors in there.
How annoying is that? I thought that was a really good idea.
It was not a bad idea.
now spent years working on this.
We're working on the tiny little shower room.
Tiny little details that was more trouble than it was worth. Hopefully somebody will come in and take care of that. Better take the light as well. Yeah. So.
Well, you're going to need a separate light in the shower room anyway, aren't you?
And then we want brick wall there. Hopefully that'll work.
You're going to need to put the drain back in as well.
Aye.
So as I was saying, is there not a danger that your toilets might overflow at the moment?
I don't think so, no, unless somebody breaks them, but hopefully we'll keep people happy enough that they won't be breaking the toilets.
Yeah, they're going to be thrilled staying in that lovely hole themselves.
They're not going to be there long, and if anything, by the time they turn up, I'll be well away with like my first
so you say
cell block.
You say they're not going to be there long, so basically what you're saying is, as long as they don't need a shit when they arrive, they're fine.
Yes. Hopefully they took a shit when they were in county.
If you could just squeeze it in for a couple of hours, we'll get you to some proper toilets, ladies and gentlemen.
There's also these little bunk beds as well. Some quite. So there we go. Put some of them in. They're not cheap, but then two people can sleep on them. You see.
Right. So you've gone from they're not going to be in there long enough to need a shit to we need sleeping facilities.
It still doesn't count. Oh, is it because that bit?
Because they haven't put the door in yet, mate, have they?
I have. Hang on, give us a second. That's a shower. There we go.
Hey!
That then counts, doesn't it? Yes, we've got a holding cell. Should we keep playing until I've at least got the basics down? Might mean that this is a bit of a long and rambling first episode. Certainly with you throwing questions and questioning every design decision I possibly make.
I mean, how much longer do you think you're going to need to get?
Well, you've seen how long it took us there with that.
Then why don't we call it for episode 1, and we'll come back and we'll continue in episode 2.
That's a preview of what's about to happen.
That's it.
Okay, ladies and gents, I hope you've enjoyed this first one. Sorry for a little bit of a slow start. We will kind of get things going.
That's just how it works with this game.
Yeah, it starts off slow and then it builds up. But as soon as we get the first prisoners arriving, it should start getting a bit more exciting, hopefully.
Please let us know what you think of the toilet facilities in Gonzo Gulag.
In particular, the showers as well. Lovely showers.
The showers, I don't dispute that the showers are lovely, but I think those toilet facilities are unacceptable. And I'm supposed to be the tyrant here.
If the game gave me an option to put a nice little... Hang on a second. What am I doing? If I'd put like a curtain up or something, if I could give them a curtain, I would. But I haven't got a curtain, so that's what they're stuck with. In any event, we shall catch you in the next one for more building goodness. Hopefully, by the end of the next one, we might be in the position where people are actually showing up and stuff's happening. Thanks very much for watching, and bye-bye.
And bye-bye from me.